Oh, so we've had a couple of new additions to Elite Dangerous. And my intention for this video is to show them both. So the first one is fairly well documented by now. Actually, they both are, but the first one we knew was coming a while ago, actually. So we have the Type-10 Defender, the new ship. So what is that like? Well, let's have a look, because there it is. I do have one. And the first thing that might strike you is that the cockpit looks pretty much identical to the cockpit of the ASP. The center console is identical to the ASP in every way, and I mean, well, it's typical Lakon cockpit, which I fucking hate. I don't like the Lakon cockpit designs at all. But, well, there you go. Now, obviously I haven't got this at stock. In fact, it's not even remotely at stock. So that's how she looks. There's a good reason why I've named mine the Tungsten Walrus. It is as heavy and roughly the same size, and it flies like one. At least it flies like one initially. So let's have a look at the loadout. Now, the first thing that everybody has noticed about the Type-10 is hard points galore. It has 9, and of course the thing that everybody focuses on is 4 large hard points. As you may notice here that my 4 large hard points are all taken up with AX weapons. I mean, the ship is essentially designed as an anti-Thargoid ship, you know, to begin with, but yeah, I've decided, yeah, you know, I'll go all out and make it, you know, entirely anti-Thargoid. As it is, I have fucked up with my loadout a bit, and at some point I will change it, but I can't bother to do it now. But basically, because I've got fixed weapons here, as you know by now, AX weapons are only available as fixed or turreted. There are no gimbaled versions of them. So I've gone with the fixed ones, but it means that the way I've got them set up, you have, you know, the missile rack one side, missile rack the other, and then on the top the same with the multi-cannons. So the sighting, you know, is a bit spread out. So unless you get relatively close to a Thargoid, there's a good chance that, yeah, you'll hit with one but miss with the other. What I should do is have the 2 multi-cannons on one side and the 2 missile racks on the other side, you know, one above, one below, but on the same side of the ship. That way, when it comes to aiming, I'll have a better chance of hitting, because my success rate when it comes to using fixed weapons is shite at the best of times. So the other weapons I've got, I do have one of the remote release flak launchers. These things don't count towards the maximum of 4 AX weapons, so Yeah, it means that I've basically got 5 AX weapons, which is fine. And then I have 2 Class 2 beam lasers and 2 Class 1 beam lasers. They are all gimbaled. The only reason I have these fitted is so that when the Thargoid does raise its shields, I do have some conventional weapons which are not ammo limited, so I can do some kind of damage to the shields, get them down. So I've outfitted this pretty much entirely for Thargoid based activity. All of the beam lasers have been modified. They all have the same modification, the grade 5 efficient weapon, and for the most part the mods on all 4 were pretty good, which is typical really, because those 4 are mods that I was not all that fussed about. Now the point I was starting to make is that these 4 class 3, the 4 large hard points, seen a lot of people on the forums straight away saying, right, okay, we'll pile on, the class 3 lasers and the pile on fucking plasma accelerators and all this shit. Not a good idea. It's almost as if the design of the ship has been done in such a way as to force you to use it as purely an anti-Thargoid ship, and by doing so you really have to fit the AX weapons in the 4 class 4 hardpoints. Now I'll explain why as we go through. So next is the utility mounts. No big surprises here. So I have the shutdown field neutraliser, and I have the Xeno scanner. Obviously, if you're going to be doing Thargoid based activity, you need both of those. I then have the heatsink launcher, point defence, and the chaff launcher, and I have 3 shield boosters. Now, obviously, apart from the experimentals, everything has been modded. All of the the heatsink launcher, point defence, and chaff launcher, they all have the grade 5 weight reduction for what it's fucking worth. And all of the shield boosters have the grade 5 resistance augmented mod. Some were better than others, but shields are not really a priority when you're designing a ship to go up against Thargoids. Thargoid weaponry pretty much goes straight through your shields and ignores them, so there's no point, putting too much into shields when they are effectively useless against Thargoids. Now, as far as core internals, so I've fitted the military grade composite, and I then modded it with the heavy duty mod, which means the mass went up a fair bit, but so did the hull boost, and even the resistances all went up. But these resistances are pretty useless against Thargoids. In fact, when I say pretty useless, they are completely useless, because Thargoid attacks are corrosive based. So it was all about getting the hull boost, and I didn't do too badly. 36.2% boost there, so that was okay. The rest of the ship, so the power plant 8A, and that has the overcharged mod fitted to it. I didn't do too badly out of that, so 27.6% increase, so I'm just under 46 megawatts available there. 7A thrusters, believe me, you need to fit the best thrusters that you can. This ship handles and flies like a pig, so you've got to try and improve the manoeuvrability. So of course I fitted the grade 5 dirty drive tuning. I don't think I got a particularly great roll. The power draw went up quite a bit. Optimal mass went down what seems like a fair bit. Optimal multiplier went up 29%, that's not too bad. Thermal load nearly doubled, that's not so good. With the frameshift drive, this is another area where modding is extremely important. Obviously grade 5 increased FSD range. Without it I was getting somewhere in the region of 16 light years, which is not great at all. After the mod, initially I had 25.5 light year range, which is fucking great, but I hadn't fitted things like the heavy duty armour mod. So it's currently around 24.7, which is still pretty good for a ship of this size and bulk. Life support, usually I fit a D class, but I figured battles against Thargoids are going to last a while, so I will want a decent life support, time. So I fitted the 5A, and then with the grade 4 lightweight life support, that's the highest you can fit, I got the mass down to 5.76, so it's actually pretty close to the mass if I had fitted a D rated one. So that's not bad. But here, this is the ship's Achilles heel, and this is why you need, or it's almost forcing you to fit AX weapons on the 4 large hardpoints, because it only has a class 6 power distributor. So I've got the 6A, no surprise I fitted the grade 5 high charge capacity mod to it. But even then, there is potential for you to have some problems, so you need to go easy with, especially with your conventional weapons. Sensors are only class 4, so at least they're cheap, and I reduced the mass, so the mass is actually less than 2 tons, which certainly again helps with jump range. Fuel tank has a 64 capacity, which is quite handy. But there's also, there is actually potential to halve that down to a 32 and still have it be plenty good enough. Now in the optional internals, there is a class 8 internal compartment. I have just fitted a cargo rack to that. In the 7 I've got the 7A fuel scoop. That was only a temporary thing, but I've decided to keep it because I like the fast fuel scooping rate, and there isn't really anything of any real value to be put in its place. There isn't a class 7 passenger cabin, or at least if there is, I can't find it anywhere. So, I can fit a class 6 passenger cabin, but then I'm wasting the class 7 slot. So, I thought, fuck it, I'll keep the fuel scoop. Shield generator, say only a class 6, because as I mentioned, the shields are pretty useless against Thargoids. But I did fit the grade 5 thermal resistance to it, which means that if a regular ship does attack me, I may last a few seconds longer. But with a class 6 shield, on a ship of this size, yeah, they're really not doing a whole hell of a lot. So I have two economy class cabins here in the 5 and the first class 4 compartment. That is so that when I do rescue missions, which is the other new thing that has arrived in the first, well, over the past couple of weeks, I've got the cabins already fitted there. Then we have the planetary vehicle hangar, because this is not just about attacking Thargoids. I've already made it quite clear I'm not going to be attacking Thargoids on site. I have this set up so I can defend myself, and I will destroy Thargoid ships if I must, but I'd rather not. But with this I can then also head straight to any planet side Thargoid structures or whatever they're called. So here I currently have the just a small cargo rack. I might actually change that to one of the corrosive resistance cargo racks, so that then if I do go to a planet side Thargoid base, I can hold the necessary probes and that without taking any damage. The more I think about it, the more I think, yeah, that's the right thing to do. So I'll lose 6 of my cargo capacity, which is really not a big deal. So then the detailed surface scanner, which has the long range grade 5 modification. I didn't get a particularly good roll, to put it mildly, so it's not doing a whole hell of a lot, but it is doing something. Then the advanced discovery scanner in the military compartments, 5A shield cell bank. I didn't mod it because I just didn't really see the point. And the 5D hull reinforcement package, which I did mod to lightweight, because, well, it hasn't lowered it by very much. The hull boost has gone up, but the hull reinforcement has come down a little bit. But I did that purely for jump range, and it's made next to fuck all difference because it hasn't even gone down by 2 tons. So that was a bit of a shit roll, but I didn't have the materials to have another stab at it. So that's how I have outfitted my Type-10. So how does it fly? Well, let's have a look. This is the system where I am going to be stationed while I'm out here. I am, as you can see, in the Pleiades region.
Detachment complete. You are go for departure.
I keep fucking bumping into all the other structures that are within here. The ship's a lot fatter than I'm used to. So you may have noticed that the engine sounds are practically non-existent. I mean, this is a, big fucking fat cunt of a ship. So you would expect the engines to be like making an almighty fucking racket. As I nearly get hit by a fucking ship that's scanning me. Because that fucking bug is still there. The one that came back after supposedly being fixed. But yeah, engine sound is extremely quiet. Top speed 234 as a result of having the dirty drive tuning. Without it, top speed is 185, which is pathetic. The ship is painfully slow. If you think that's bad, here we have the boost speed. $285. So your boost increases your speed by 51, which isn't exactly going to get you particularly far from any attacking vessels. Now, as far as the distributor goes when using conventional weapons, thanks to the inclusion of or the fitting of the efficient weapons mods to my beam lasers, I can fire them for a pretty fucking good long time. So no real problems there. And then we get to maneuverability. Now this is the maneuverability once it's had the grade 5 dirty dry tuning fitted. Without this mod, the maneuverability of this ship is worse than an Imperial cutter at fully stock levels. Although the areas where it is noticeably worse is in the roll speeds. Without the dirty dry tuning, the roll speed is absolutely fucking painful. It's slower rolling than the Imperial cutter is pitching. Pitching rate in this is, well, for a large ship, it's bearable when you are, you know, without the dirty dry tuning. With it, as you can see, it's not bad. In fact, it's a bit ridiculous just how quickly it pitches in comparison to, well, a lot of other ships of this size. In fact, given the size of this thing, it really shouldn't be pitching that fast. So let's head to a system that has had one of its docking stations attacked. So I know a new electro is one. I'd really like to find one that's a bit closer. There we go. So we can do this in one jump. So you can see Bale landing has been attacked and is damaged, and there is the rescue ship close by. So let's head to this docking station then. I don't have any cargo, so I'm not going to be bringing in any supplies. But we can still do some missions and take some refugees out of there. Now, like I say, the Type-10, although it's a new ship, it's only been in the game, it's only been available in the game for a few days. we've known about it for a little while, and of course it's had the usual sort of treatment from all the fucking shit cunts on oh fucking not again. I had this happen only yesterday. Right, let's sort out the yeah, field neutraliser worked. Fuck it, he didn't like that. What type this is. Basilisk, well I think there's only 3 different types, and I've encountered all of them. Has he? Yeah, he's put. Yeah, he's retracting all of the Sargon Swarm there. What is he doing now? I think he's just going to bugger off. Yeah. Okay, right. Well, he's going to bugger off then, so good. Now let's try fucking height spacing again. So that should now have registered in my stats here. Thargoid encounters, so total seen, yeah, total encounters 2, but it's both been Cyclops variants. Oh, right, let's try jumping again. Anyway, as I was saying, yes, all the fucking shit cunts on the forums have all been going through the usual routine, which was in the weeks when we knew about the Type-10 but couldn't actually access it. They were all banging on about how much they can't wait for it to turn up and all this, and how fucking great it was going to be. Once it was first revealed how it would look, those same people were all going on about, oh, it looks really shit, blah de blah, and they were obsessed about just one aspect of it, which was the fucking stupid great spoiler on the back. Now, yeah, it does look shit, but it's not exactly the be all and end all of the fucking thing. You know, there are more important things. This turning rate in Super Cruise is pretty much what the turning rate or the roll rate was in normal flight prior to fitting the dirty drive tuning. So anyway, so yeah, all those shit cunts were then going on about how shit it looked, but they still, you know, were saying, oh yeah, I can't wait for it to be in the game, even though they'd done nothing but complain about what it looks like. And then it arrived in the game, and once again the same fucking shit munchers were then all complaining about it because it didn't have, you know, class 8 everything, and you couldn't fit, you know, like 6 huge weapons on it without, you know, and no overheating, and it can't turn on a fucking pinhead, and it doesn't have, you know, 200 light year jump range. So they're all fucking moaning about it and saying what a piece of shit it is, and you know, yeah, I have no sympathy with Frontier Developments. They've treated their customers like they're a bunch of brain dead cunts, but then when you see things like that in the forums, you think, well, it could well be because most of their customers are fucking brain dead cunts. You know, if there was such a ship with the stats that these fucking, you know, fucking just total arseholes are all insisting that they want, you know, the ultimate ship, do they seriously think that they are going to be the only player who will use it? Everybody will use it, which means it will then get fucking boring. And, you know, if there's one thing this game really needs, it's more boring content. So it's just fucking moronic the way that, you know, the people on the Elite Dangerous forum, well, you don't need me to explain any more about that. Now, I can never remember which side of the fucking rings this station is. Whichever side I'm attempting to approach it from, though, you can bet your fucking life it's the wrong one. Yeah, these rings are getting pretty close, and it's not even in the megameters yet. So, yep, I'm on the wrong fucking side. Maybe not. Right. So here we have the attacked station.
Commander, you're through to flight control. This station is undergoing emergency evac procedures. Do not request docking unless you intend to rescue survivors.
Which is what I'll be doing.
Copy that, Commander. We've assigned a landing pad for you. Be careful.
Now, I haven't done one of these landings in this ship before. This could be interesting. So you can see the thing's on fire, but there is a bit of a cop-out with this. Because of course there's no sign of any Thargoid ships, so we've completely missed the attack.
Commander, we're advising all pilots to stay well clear of damaged structures. We're seeing multiple explosions in the inner dock.
So even though it's done a bit differently, slightly differently, it's really not that much different to any normal approach. Now you can see the heat is going up. So we'll use a heat sink, which we absolutely have to use. And now we've got to try and land as quickly as we can. Right, now we're down and it automatically takes you into the hangar.
Touchdown confirmed. We'd urge you to go to the nearest evacuation terminal to help with the rescue effort, Commander.
Now while we're in here, we're shielded from taking any damage from the heat in the main docking bay. So now we can access what few parts we can. Now, this is why I wanted to take basic medicines. At most you'll probably pay 280 for them, and then when you are in the damaged station you can sell them for 6,875. You can also sell them at the rescue ships, which are quite close by, and they'll still pay you a decent profit. They'll pay you 3,400 odd, but you sell them here and you'll get double that. So yeah, it is definitely worth bringing basic medicines out here. So now I've got 24 cabins. Let's see what I'll get. Well, I'll only take a couple then, so if there's one where there are 3 people wanting because yeah, I'll be a cunt about it. I'll you know, I'll take people providing they're going to pay me enough. Right, okay, so what was the one I was going to do? Right, so I'll do this one. You've got 1 hour and 41 minutes, no problem. The rescue ship is more or less right on top of us. Okay, so I can now take 3. There's this one here for 3. Yeah, it gives me 59 minutes. Right, so that's my cabins filled. So let's get them to the rescue ship, which is just 2 megameters away. So we launch. Now, because the launch sequence takes a little while, you do take heat damage. There we go, taking it now. Right, so now we use the heat sink, and basically we get the hell out of here. As my fucking phone starts ringing. Fuck's sake, he doesn't take the hint. At last. So the escape, the rescue vessel is behind us. Oh, we're safe enough here because we are out of the heat from the main docking bay. So let's gonna move on.
3, 2, 1, engage.
Oh, fuck it, what a prick. I should have really noticed that the
Commander, you're through to flight control. This station is undergoing emergency evac procedures. Do not request docking unless you intend to rescue survivors.
so I've now got to get right the way through this little lot. I am rather reluctant to use boosters when going through a fucking ring system. Must say it's a really good idea of the rescue ship to sort of park itself on the other side of the fucking rings. Yeah, what a fucking great place to yeah, great place to, you know, of course, because this ship crawls along, or at least it does compared to what I'm used to. There we go. Alright, we're finally through them. So it just takes a matter of seconds to get here. Yep. And the large landing pad is on the main structure, facing opposite from the secondary one. Looks like the landing pad there, but at this angle I can't see which side I'm approaching from. Okay, now I can.
Landing gear deployed.
Yeah, I thought I might overshoot that somewhat.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
It's only just still lit. So, well, repairs are not too bad. I'm just restocking the heatsink launcher. So there's our refugees delivered. You don't get paid a great deal for them, but you know, you do your bit for humanity. And that is, yeah, that is it. That is then the Type-10 Defender when it is fully A-rated and has been more or less modded to the max. And the rescue missions from the attacked docking stations. Wasn't that exciting? Right, so I am back. I wasn't going to do another video so soon. Well, not an additional part anyway, but something happened that has prompted me to do so. I freely admit the first part of this video is absolute shite. I really wasn't feeling in the mood, but I was sort of forcing myself to do it, and I was going to just delete it, but I can't be asked to re-record everything. Besides which, something has changed out here now, which means that one thing I showed you in that video can't be done at the moment. That is this. All Aegis research stations are now in lockdown, and all Aegis research controlled systems, which means that you cannot buy commodities, so you can't buy the basic medicines in order to take them to the stations that need them, or the rescue ships. The lockdown also affects rescue ships and damaged stations. So yeah, you can't buy the commodities. Even if you could buy them, if you take them to another Aegis research system, you can't sell them there. Why has this happened? Well, it's not something that Frontier Developments have implemented deliberately. It's because yeah, it's because a bunch of wankers who play the game, you know, as a group, have done whatever it takes to initiate it. Now, I'm not a big fan of Aegis research. I don't like the fact that their research is based entirely on destroying Thargoids, and I don't like the fact that in order to take part in their community events, some of the the items you need to bring back involve destroying Thargoids, because it's the Thargoid hearts. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of Aegis research, but I think it is utterly cuntish to have deliberately implemented a lockdown, which is what these fucking cunts have done. So it means that a lot of players who are out here now can't do part of the reason for being here. They can't, help out the attack stations by bringing in any supplies of any kind, whether it be medical or repair supplies, unless you go to systems which are outside of Aegis Research's control. So I mean, I've found one system where there is a damaged station, but it's not under Aegis control, and it's this system here, HIP 17694. And if you take a look at it when it eventually fucking loads, there you go. So the Hudson Observatory station here is owned by Pleiades Resource Enterprise. So they will, buy in supplies, and so will the research, the rescue ship. So they will buy in supplies if you can get them, but yeah, first of all you got to get them. I mean, obviously if you can be bothered, you can fly, back towards the the populated zone, get them there, and then fly back out here. But I can't be asked. I suspect a lot of other players can't be asked. You'd probably be able to get them from Maya, maybe, or is it Merope? Is that another one where you can do so? So there may be a couple of systems around where you will be able to, but I mean, there's no denying it. They did this purely to be an utter fucking prick, and they have succeeded. So although I've shown you the significant profits you can make from doing, the runs to the damaged stations and bringing basic medicines with you, at the moment it's a bit of a fucking pain in the arse to do. The really bullshit thing is that surely if a station has been seriously damaged and you've got a rescue ship there which is there to evacuate survivors from those stations and then treat them, surely they should fall outside of the system's status. So if a system is in lockdown, surely it shouldn't apply to a rescue ship and a docking station that has just had the fucking shit blown out of it. But I mean, that's probably asking far too much from from Frontier Developments. So yeah, this is the current situation. So it means that there is currently no point in me looking at helping out at any stations, whether they are damaged ones or whether they are ones that are undergoing repair. So what I am going to do instead is see if we can find any more Thargoids in the area. This system, as far as I remember, is not a particularly good one for finding any Thargoids. So let's go back to HR 1185, which I haven't been to for a little while actually. But I know that there will be, well, there should be Thargoid signals in there. Now I have, as far as I'm aware, seen all of the different types of Thargoids, the Cyclops, the Basilisk and the Medusa. And you do of course get some sort of indication as to which ship you're going to encounter by the threat level at the signal source. If it's 5, then yes, it will be a Cyclops. And I keep getting the 6 and 7s mixed up. I can't remember what Thargoid you will counter at which one. I think it's the Medusa at 7 and the Basilisk at 6. But anyway, we'll take a look. See if we can find something interesting, which will make a pleasant change. Now I did also notice there is some serious inconsistencies regarding doing the rescue missions. Let's start fuel scooping. So I'm close enough to this Class B blue star here that I was fuel scooping at just shy of 600 per second, which is not a bad rate. My heat is at 56. Let's get a bit closer. 58. But it's not going up anymore. It's still at 58, despite the fact that I am this close to this blue star here. And yet, when you are inside a docking station, one that has been attacked and so is damaged, okay, yeah, there are fires there. But the heat there goes up so high that you have to use a heat sink, and you will take heat damage while you're in there. So the heat inside a damaged docking station is greater than the heat from having your ship parked right slap bang next to a fucking Class B blue star. Yeah. Alright, let's take a look at this signal source, see what it is. It's non-human. It's only a threat 5, so this will only be a Cyclops. I'll have a look, see what it does. Before anyone asks, no, I do not plan to attack it. At some point I'm sure I will have to, but I'll tell you what, let's have a look at this one, because if this is non-human again, yeah, but if it's a 6 or 7, yeah, 7. Right, so this is a Thargoid type I've not shown in a video before, so we'll go to this one. Knowing my luck, this will turn out to be a really shit idea. The thing will probably blow the fuck out of me. she is. Currently not doing a hell of a lot. Here we go. Let it get in range so that I can then start scanning. So you can see it looks slightly different. The colours and the spiky bits. So there you go, it's a Medusa. But not interested in me at all. It is interested in picking up something that was there. Oh, fuck it hell. It's now doing its, flexing its muscles a bit. Just release the Sargon Swarm. So yeah, see, I don't do anything. It seems to, yeah, because I haven't reacted to it doing all of that, it ignores me. Sargon Swarm is fucking huge compared to the Cyclops one. It's picking up a lot of stuff. There's a Thargoid sensor in the area. I wouldn't mind getting that, but if I do take it, firstly I'll take damage, and for another it will piss him off. I think he is about to try and pick it up. And I keep forgetting to fucking sort my weapons out. From who? Oh, from the Thargoid sensor, which has now been taken on board the, well, I say on board, the Thargoid has now got it. Nothing else around here that's Thargoid related, so I could pick it up, but I don't think it's really worth doing. I think that noise was it again warning me to keep away, but the Sargon Swarm is now being retracted. I think that means it's about to bugger off. Yeah, let's see if we can scan the wake. Let's move at quite a hefty old rate compared to this thing. Whoops. Good job I did that then and not while the Thargoid was still here. Still way out of range. Still used to flying the old cutter. Right, so no, can't scan it with the Xeno scanner, and I haven't got a freight ship weight scanner. Okay, well there you go. So yeah, the only reason I came back then was to point out that basically people have been absolute fucking pricks around here. So if you wanted to do the you know, basic medicines run, there is still at least one station where you can do it, but it's just been made a real pain in the arse now, and I have a feeling because this area really is grief essential nowadays.
Charging.
It could stay that way for a while.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
Well, that is it then. So yeah, now definitely go away.